You guys, stop me if you've heard this before. The Rockies lost, and their offense did absolutely nothing. That is the story of the game as Colorado unfortunately loses to the New York Yankees on the road here in the first game of a 3-game weekend series against the Bronx Bombers. Your final score 3-0. Kyle Freeland pitched well, though. Like to see that. A little bounce back stuff from Mr. Free after a couple of up and down outings. And we'll break it all down right here for y'all on tonight's installment of your Locked On Rockies postcast. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Rockies postcast, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It is your Locked On Rockies postcast. Hope everybody is hanging in there on this Friday, August the 23rd. Hopefully, you did not spend the early portion of your Friday evening wallowing away, watching yet another lifeless performance from the Colorado Rockies lineup as they failed to score a single run. They couldn't even get one across the plate tonight, which is so unfortunate because Kyle Freeland was on the money. Good enough to win in most scenarios for most teams was Kyle Freeland on the bump tonight. And it's just been one of those years for the Rockies where obviously we've talked about it throughout the course of this program that the pitching has been a little bit up and down. But this year and even last year, it's been more of the offense, in my opinion, right? Because you're almost accustomed to the sporadicness of the lineup with the Rockies on a game, or of the pitching staff, both the starters and the bullpen on a game in and game out basis. But one constant with the Rockies, at least, in historical terms, as long as they've been a franchise, is this team is always able to hit. And whether it's been at home or on the road this season, this Rockies lineup is just devoid of consistency. And it has plagued them as they lose in, unfortunately, typical fashion in a very winnable game here tonight. And that's the thing, guys. The Rockies, going back to Washington, really this whole season, have lost just a tremendous amount of winnable games. So we'll break it all down for you right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. You can follow me on social media at Media by AP if your heart desires, on the good old Twitter, now known as X, and Instagram as well, at Media by AP. And make sure to subscribe to the Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. That way you guys never miss an episode of the show. And, we're going to be here just about after just about each and every Rockies game the rest of the way this season. So make sure to subscribe to this channel, the Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel, so that way you never miss an episode. And today's episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast is brought to you by our friends over at Supply House. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to get parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, or electrical job and get fast shipping from coast to coast at SupplyHouse.com. All right, guys, let's save the pitching talk for the second segment because that is the good. And I got to just get this out of the way because I really don't want to spend the rest of the show talking about the Rockies lineup because it is just so rinse and repeat. Like, I could probably copy and paste some shows from throughout the course of this season and it would probably hold up because, like, here's Buddy Black on my screen right now. He's doing his post-game interview and I just nothing, absolutely nothing from this Rockies lineup tonight. Ezekiel Tovar 1 for 3. Rogers 0 for 4. He had been heating up a little bit. Bretton Doyle 0 for 4. Ryan McMahon 0 for 3. Michael Toglia 1 for 4. Jacob Stallings 0 for 4. Brutal strikeout for him at the end of the game there in the 9th inning. And, it's just a lot of 0-4s across the lineup tonight. Nolan Jones had a hit. Jordan Beck had a hit. But all in all, 4 base hits combined for the Rockies in tonight's game. They did commit an error, but they punched out 9 times. Cue the soundbite from Ferris Bueller. 9 times. 9 times. That's a drop that we use at the Mile High Sports radio studio all the time. So whenever I say that, it just always naturally pops into my head. Frankly, watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off may have been better than watching this game tonight because that's actually not true. I love a good tight baseball game. And the fact that Kyle Freeland, like the worst baseball games to me are when it's like 4-0 after 2 innings, or even worse, 6-0, whatever it might be. Like when you could just tell that the game's over essentially from the jump. There's nothing worse than when it's like 6-0 after 3 innings and the team that's down just like puts up 3 or 4 runs and then they end up losing like 9-7. And it's like, well, what did we just do all that for? Right. And tonight that was not the case, as the Rocks lose 3-0. But, good pitching across the board, obviously on both sides from the Yankees perspective, as they limit the Rockies to no runs in this game. Not even limit, but they prevented the Rockies from crossing the plate. Carlos Rodon, who we talked about yesterday on the postcast, he was sharp tonight for the Yanks on the mound, his 14th win of the season. His final line: 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, and only 1 walk to pair with 5 strikeouts. His ERA drops now to 4.16. And as we mentioned, this Rockies lineup tonight, just nothing. No dice, no juice, nothing. And they did have a little bit of an opportunity there. That's the thing, when you're able to keep these games within striking distance, right? The Rockies, had they gotten the bases loaded, right, you're going to have the time run at the plate at that point. They did have an opportunity there in the 9th inning to make things interesting, and unfortunately just unable to capitalize on that. And what's just so funny is Clay Holmes, who's an all-star closer for the New York Yankees. I actually have a buddy that's from Colorado, Rocky fan. Well, not a Rocky fan, but, understands the Rockies and whatnot, but from Colorado. And he was actually in New York for this game tonight. And he was just kind of like texting me back and forth. Like, apparently like some young, like 7-8-year-old kids were trying to start the wave in the outfield. And old head Yankee fans like turning around being like, we don't do that here. Take that to Citi Field. And it's so crazy to see the difference in how the Yankees and their fan base approach the game and the Rockies and their fan base approach the game. And that's not a slight whatsoever, but there is a level of intensity that comes with the Yankees. And look, they're a playoff team, right? They're one of the best teams in the American League, right? So here you are on August the 23rd, getting closer and closer to the postseason, fighting for the division, all that kind of stuff, a spot, seeding. These games matter a lot more when you get to this point, as opposed to the Rockies, who are just completely down and out with a record of 47-82, right? The Yankees are, it's essentially the flip. The Yankees are 76-53. They're in first place in the American League East. The Rockies are 47-82 in 5th place in the National League West. And the reason I just bring that up is, the Yankee fan there in the bottom of the 9th inning, Clay Holmes issues a leadoff walk to Ryan McMahon there in the top half of the inning, and the Yankee fan starts to boo. Like, I could hear it through the TV. My buddy was texting me from the game talking about it. Like, they're up 3-0. They're playing essentially as clean of a game as you could pretty much play. And the moment your all-star closer on your first place division leading ball club issues a walk to a lifeless offense that you've kept in check for the entire game, the Yankee fans' first reaction is to boo. It's just so atypical. And look, I grew up a Met fan, and the Met fan obviously has a little bit of that in them as well. But like, the Yankee fan is just, they're a different breed of fan. And it was just interesting to see how that all kind of played out, at least through the TV, and then getting the updates from my buddy who was actually at the game. But yeah, Ryan McMahon, leadoff walk there in the 9th inning. Michael Toglia, so close. He got under one that was, it didn't quite get to the warning track in right field, but of course you've got that short porch a little bit closer towards right center field. It fell just a few feet short of the fence. He got the barrel on the ball, but unable to hit it properly and square it up. A little bit of a lunging swing there from Michael Toglia on the off-speed pitch, and he ends up flying out to right center field. That gives the Yankees their first out of the inning, and then Jacob Stallings works a 3-2 count before getting punched out on a pitch that was, look, I know Jeff Houston and them, and Drew Goodman and them, they're going to always, going to go with what the right call should be. It was a ball maybe by this much. But you know what I got to say, Jacob Stallings, and you know what I got to say in general? Like, anyone that's played baseball knows this. Swing the bat. When it's close in a 3-2 count, when it's close with 2 strikes, you swing the bat. You only take, and I know it's hard, right? These are big league players, so I'm not trying to, compare these guys to little leaguers. But unless that ball is clearly out of the strike zone, your approach and your mentality has got to be, I have got to at least make contact there. And with Ryan McMahon on first base and 1 out, had you been able to draw that walk or extend the at-bat, maybe get a single or a double, you actually would be able to give yourself an opportunity to try to, run up the score a little bit, put a run on the board, maybe 2, maybe 3, tie the game up, maybe even take the lead if you can get some momentum and get in Clay Holmes' head. That was not the case tonight. Jacob Stallings punching out, looking on a 3-2 pitch, and then Nolan Jones with a sharp line drive to center field to end the game. The Rockies had 4 strikeouts tonight looking. 9 strikeouts total, but 4 strikeouts looking. That is not good. And I believe I heard them right before I started on the show, on the postgame, or on the Rockies postgame show. I believe 7 runs now combined for the Rockies over the course of their 4 games here on this road trip. The 3 games against Washington, the 1 game against New York. And I don't know about y'all, but doesn't look like things are going to change here anytime soon. So the Rockies tonight, Kyle Freeland was competitive, but the lineup was non-competitive as they lose this game to the New York Yankees by a final score of 3-0. All right, let's hit our first break. When we come back, we will continue along with the conversation. I thought Kyle Freeland was absolutely fantastic tonight. It is a shame that his lineup could not give him any run support, but we'll talk about Kyle Freeland's outing and why that is a good thing moving forward down the stretch here for the Rockies. All right, stick with us, folks. We'll come back and do just that right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. Back in a few, folks. All right, you guys, let me tell you about our friends over at Liquid IV. And listen up, it's still summertime. You're going to want to get in on this promotion from our friends over at Liquid IV because when you're watching a baseball game, right? Everybody likes the soft serve ice cream, the ice cream in the mini helmet, maybe a churro. Sweets and baseball are a match made in heaven. But you can also do a number of different things with our friends over at Liquid IV. When you're taking in America's pastime, don't forget to hydrate with Liquid IV's Popsicle Firecracker flavor. It is a surefire summertime hit. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. And guys, I've used Liquid IV before. All you do, I have these water bottles at my apartment pretty much at all times just because I like it. And because if I'm on the go, right, let's do a little in-person kind of storytelling here. All right, I wake up, maybe I had a couple of drinks the night before, that's summertime, trying to go out. All you got to do is get a water bottle like this, or if you've got one of those, what are they, the Stanley Cups? What were the other ones? The ones that were super popular. Oh, I forget. The one before the Stanley. I forget. The one with the little sippy thing. Either way, all you got to do is choose your water, whether it's in the bottle, whether it's in your cup of choice, whether it's in a glass at home. And all you got to do is rip open the pouch, pour in a little Liquid IV. If you've got a bottle like this, you just shake it up. If you're at home, give it a little stir, and you're going to be greeted with darn near instant hydration with our friends over at Liquid IV, folks. And it is the way to go. So you're going to want to check them out. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon, lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. You know what popsicles I'm talking about, guys. Find all of your favorite flavors on their website, from acai berry to lemon lime to pina colada. Guys, a lot of versatility with our friends over at Liquid IV. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Check them out, folks. Stay hydrated this summer with our friends over at Liquid IV. And let me also tell you about our friends over at Supply House, because you're going to want to get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every single time. And guys, I cannot stress that enough. In the era of computers and artificial intelligence, our friends over at Supply House are going to make sure you talk to a real person every time. Plus, pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order, guys. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. Again, folks, visit Supply House for all of your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical product needs. Check them out, www.supplyhouse.com, and let them know that Locked On Rockies sent you. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Rockies postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. Hope you guys are doing well out there on this Friday evening on August the 23rd. Unfortunately, the Rockies non-competitive tonight as they lose to the New York Yankees by a final score of 3-0. You can follow me on social media at Media by AP if your heart desires. And also, guys, make sure to subscribe to the brand new Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. If you're sick and tired of the Rockies, we're still going to have the shows, but football season is on the horizon. I'm also the host of the Locked On Broncos postcast, as well as the Locked On Buffs postcast. So if you want some Broncos talk or some Buffs talk in your life, be sure to tap in with us right here on the Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel, so that way you never miss an episode. But okay, let's dive into Kyle Freeland's outing tonight. He was great, and unfortunately, the home runs plagued Kyle in this one. His final line, 6 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts for K-Free. And, you know, it's got to be frustrating. You know, who was it? Tyler Kinley, I think, was the starting pitcher earlier in the season for the Rockies that, you know, he would go out there, or maybe it was Dakota Hudson. They're all kind of just blending together at this point, to be honest with you. You know, but he would go out there and actually turn in pretty decent starts, quality starts, in the Rockies lineup would just give him no semblance of run support. And that's kind of like what this game felt here tonight for Kyle Freeland, who, as we mentioned, goes out and deals 6 2/3 innings of pretty clean baseball, 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. But it was death by home run tonight for the Rockies, as the Yankees were able to hit a couple of balls out of the ballpark. The first one coming there in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Giancarlo Stanton, who is yet to crack 90 games this season, has 22 home runs on a 2-0 count, hitter's count. He's going to get a pitch from Kyle Freeland on the outside portion of the plate, and he just takes full advantage of that short porch out there in right field. Maybe not a home run in some other ballparks, but it absolutely is in Yankee Stadium, and that's how the runs got started here tonight for the Yankees. Again, bottom of the 4th inning, solo shot for Giancarlo Stanton with 2 outs. That's what really hurts. The fact that you got 2 outs and you give up that solo shot, that is brutal. And then the Yankees managed to add an additional run there. Actually, 3 consecutive innings of 1 run, 4, 5, and 6. They each scored 1 run in all 3 of those innings, and they were able to get on with the rest there. Bottom of the 5th inning, with runners on base, Gleyber Torres is able to get a run home. I always struggle with how I want to say this, because it's an error, right? That's committed on the Rockies end. And a fielding error by third baseman Ryan McMahon. Or do go to third. So, it's just a frustrating way, especially, when that's why he's only 2 earned runs tonight for Kyle Freeland, and both of those earned runs come via the long ball for the Yankees. But, when your defense is unable to pick you up, Freeland had, again, 2 outs, runners on second and third, and a 1-0 count, and Gleyber Torres, hits a chopper, but a play that should absolutely positively be routine 9 times out of 10. I mean, not even 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 at the major league level, especially for an all-star in Ryan McMahon. So that's disappointing. But, it didn't make a difference either way, because the Rockies were unable to score any runs. And then the cherry on top there in the bottom of the 6th inning, also against Kyle Freeland, leaves one up and in to Aaron Judge, who just absolutely destroys this baseball for his 49th home run of the season. 49 home runs for Aaron Judge, man. He's a stud. And look, it wasn't the best pitch in the world from Kyle Freeland, but it wasn't like it was right down the middle. I mean, it was up and in, maybe borderline strike, and Aaron Judge just turns on that thing. And hey, maybe I came up with something. There's Hawk Tool, done on that thing. Maybe it's insert emotion here, turn on that thing, when it comes to Major League Baseball, because that's exactly what Aaron Judge did. I'm trademarking that, by the way. Nobody come up with that. That's me. That's AP. That's Aniello Piro's thought right here on the Locked On Rockies postcast. I got receipts. But, it's frustrating when you give up, it's not like the Yankees were stringing together hits. And Drew Goodman made a good point about that at the end of the broadcast of that is a classic Yankees win. Just enough on offense, good clutch pitching throughout the game, and you win in low scoring fashion. That is New York Yankees baseball at its finest here, in my opinion, at least. So we'll see if the Rockies can bounce back tomorrow. I'm surely hoping so. But I love that Kyle Freeland, even though he's going to take the loss tonight, I love that he bounced back in a big way, because we had talked about it. His last couple of starts leading up to this one against the New York Yankees had been a little up and down. I mean, the month of August has not been kind to him. August 6th against the Mets, he goes 4 2/3 innings. That's a home game as well. 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. The 11th of August against the Braves, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. And then the 17th last week against the Padres, 5 innings, gives up 5 earned runs and 8 hits in that one. So nice to see Kyle Freeland at least bounce back in his own right a little bit and put forth a pretty solid start, even though he doesn't get the result he's looking for. Again, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. His ERA is now at 5.70. And, that's kind of all she wrote, at least from the perspective of the game from the pitching department. Really straightforward. The Rockies lineup was just unable to do anything. Kyle Freeland turned in a good outing and was not rewarded for it. So we'll see if they can bounce back and at least try to get a game tomorrow, so that way they can give themselves a chance to win this series going into Sunday. But okay, folks, let's hit our final break. When we come back, we will put a bow on the show, a couple of closing thoughts from the game tonight, and we will also take a look at what is ahead for the Rockies in their game mañana. Stick with us. We'll come back and do just that right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. All right, you guys, let me tell you about our friends over at Tonal, because for those of us who thrive on getting stuff done, including workouts, every minute counts. That's why you need Tonal, the smart strength system that takes the guesswork out of working out so you can make sure that you're making the most out of every single rep. When life gets busy, fitting in a workout can be stressful. With Tonal, you can get an efficient workout personalized just for you, and they're available with the amount of time that you have. Even the most dedicated gym goers struggle with consistency. The commute, waiting for weights, other people's sweat, it makes skipping a workout very tempting. With Tonal, you can choose from thousands of workouts and train in a way that you actually enjoy at home. Tonal is the world's smartest and most effective strength training system that helps get you stronger. Powered by artificial intelligence, Tonal learns with every rep so it can deliver workouts personalized just for you. Tonal learns your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move with detailed progress reports. They even create personalized programs and workout suggestions or recommendations based on your individual goals. It's like having a personal trainer at home with you, as Tonal will optimize every workout just for you. Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques. From professional athletes to the Mama 3, Tonal is trusted by thousands who have become their strongest. Right now, Tonal is offering listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Tonal.com, TONAL.com, and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off. And I can speak to some of the gym struggles that they were talking about there. I usually go, when it's a night game, I usually go to the gym right before the game starts, and I come back, watch, and get ready for the show. Sometimes it is easy to skip those workouts. Sometimes you don't want to make the drive. Sometimes you're in the comfort of your own home. Well, our friends over at Tonal are going to help you get that good work in at home. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your first purchase, or not even your first purchase. It just says $200 off your purchase. Visit Tonal.com. Let them know that Locked On Rockies sent you, and good luck out there on your fitness journeys. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Rockies postcast. Few more minutes left to play with here on this Friday night. Hope you guys are doing well. You can follow me on social at Media by AP and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel along the way. We talked about Kyle Freeland. We talked about the lineup. The question is, will anything change for the Rockies? It just seems like, I've said it probably every show this week. We are truly in the dog days of the season where All-Star break is, a few weeks removed at this point. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, only about 5-ish weeks left in the Major League Baseball season. And so, I don't want to make excuses for the Rockies, but it's not happening right now, and I wonder if that has something to do with it. So we shall see. A little bit of news. I saw today that Germán Marquez was playing. Let me see if I can get any updated information. I saw this early in the day. I want to make sure that I can get it right for you guys. I do know that he was placed on the 60-day injured list, which I don't think is a great sign. But obviously, he was probably never going to come back this year. Yeah, he's placed on the 60-day injured list, and that is going to end his season, folks. So what did Germán Marquez? 2 starts, I think, is what he made this year. So you were kind of hoping that going into this offseason, Senzatello's not back yet either, but you were kind of cautiously optimistic that you could have Freeland, Marquez, and Senza, at least 1, 2, 3, maybe Gomber, a couple other guys there to fill out the rotation entering next season if they don't make any moves in the offseason. But I'm starting to get a little concerned about Germán Marquez and his viability as a starting pitcher on a consistent basis past this year. If we want to just, chalk this up to a total wash and kind of wipe our hands clean and just keep our fingers crossed and hope and pray that he comes back, like the older version of himself next year, we could. But I do think the fact that, it's an arm injury, an arm issue for Germán Marquez, after coming off that Tommy John, I'm just a little concerned that this could be, unfortunately lead to something more prominent here for the Rockies. So we shall see. You got to keep your fingers crossed there. But before we get out of here, folks, let's take a look at the matchup for tomorrow. Rockies and Yankees, Game 2. It's a day game. 12:05 first pitch here in Colorado, so make sure to set your reminders. It'll be Bradley Bollock on the mound for the Rocks. He is yet to have a win or a loss in his Major League career, but he does have an earned run average of 2.92 and a mere 6 strikeouts for Mr. Bollock here so far in his Major League career. But he's going to be going up against somebody that doesn't have much more experience than him in starting pitcher Will Warren for the New York Yankees. He's 0-1. with an 8.59 ERA and only 17 strikeouts. So, we'll see if the Rockies lineup can wake up tomorrow and take advantage of their situation. But for Bollock, his last time out, the 18th of August against the Padres, he was pretty good. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, only 1 run allowed. He did walk 3, so you want to see him, trim that back a little bit, and only punched out 2. But if he can give you an outing like that tomorrow, you're going to feel all right about your chances, assuming the lineup is going to be able to do their job. So we shall see what this pitching matchup holds from the Rockies' perspective. For Will Warren, the 25-year-old, as we mentioned, he is his last start came on the 14th of this month. He went 5 innings against the White Sox of all teams, gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs. So he's been a little up and down. He got shelled against the Angels on the 7th of August, 4 1/3 inning pitched, 8 hits, 8 earned runs in that one. He gave up 4 earned runs in his lone start in July against the Phillies as well. So I think the jury's still out with Will Warren, as it is with Rockies starting pitcher Bradley Bollock, but we shall see which starting pitcher rises to the occasion tomorrow. But all right, guys, that is going to do it for me on tonight's episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast. Really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's tough out there. I know there's not a lot of positivity to talk about, but the show must go on, as we say here in the business. And I'm going to do my best to bring the thunder after each and every game the rest of the way this season, talking Colorado Rockies baseball. And that's the thing. I'm going to rip them when they need to be ripped, and I'll praise them when praise is due. Tonight, they deserve to be ripped again. Lineup was awful. Kyle Freeland was good, but it doesn't mean anything because the Rockies only have 4 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts looking. Boo. That was bad. But all right, guys, follow me on social at Media by AP. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel so you never miss an episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast. And once again, at 12:05 p.m. Colorado time, first pitch tomorrow as the Yankees and the Rockies series continues. A win tomorrow for Colorado gives them an opportunity to win the series on Sunday. We'll see if they can do just that. But I am out of here, folks. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll talk to you guys mañana on the next episode of your Locked On Rockies postcast. Have a good weekend, guys.